Welcome to PlayStation News, Rumours and Leaks. Let's take a look at what's been happening over the last few days in the world of gaming. Guys, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, strap yourselves in, and let's get cracking. One of the biggest announcements to come out of the Game Awards was the Marvel's Blade game. But according to ex-Sony Bend developer Alex Smith, the game is not actually exclusive to Xbox consoles. Speaking on Twitter, Smith claimed that all Marvel games licensed from 2022 will have to be cross-platform, with Blade and EA's Black Panther and Iron Man games being part of the same wave of Marvel and Disney contracts for their IPs starting in 2022. On a side note, Marvel's Wolverine, that was licensed for PlayStation Insomniac games prior to 2022, so I suppose that one's got away with it being an exclusive. But I think according to this chap here, Alex Smith, he's saying that Marvel's game, Blade, will not be exclusive to Xbox consoles because of this arrangement and licensing deal that Marvel games has to be cross-platform. Very interesting. Marvel's Blade takes place during the midst of a supernatural emergency in a section of Paris. Here, vampires are stalking the streets and terrorizing the local population, forcing Parisians to shelter inside at night and wait for the safety of daytime. Sebastian Mitton, co-creative and art director at Arcane Studios, commented, "From his trench coat to his iconic sunglasses, Blade is a slick, stylish and driven character. This project is the perfect opportunity to push Arcane's art style into an even more modern and bold territory. The essence of the work lives at the junction of impactful ideas and innovation know-how. At this point, you should take Smith's comments with a huge pinch of salt, as there's been no official word actually from Marvel about their game Blade coming to PlayStation formats. In all honesty, to me it doesn't really bother me one bit whether this is exclusive to Xbox or not. I've got an Xbox Series X console. It hasn't been switched on since April 2021, so if it is an Xbox exclusive, it'll give me an excuse to switch on the console and try the game whenever the game comes out. Probably 2026, would have thought, maybe 2027. But yeah, very interesting to learn more about whether this is exclusive or not, just to see what people are saying. There's a lot of chatter about one set of fans playing off another set of fans, whether this is an Xbox exclusive or not. Like I said, it doesn't really bother me. The fact that we're getting another game, great to see, and Arcane are behind it, so very interesting to see what that game looks like going forward. Okay guys, moving on. Christopher Judge, better known as the Kratos character to most PlayStation players, was the first main presenter on the Game Awards stage, and after all the jokes about how long his speech was for last year's Game Awards show, he used one of them to take a shot at this year's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 campaign. He goes on to say, "I get it, I'm not going to stand up here making long speeches. I'm going to stick to the script, no 8-minute speech like last year. But fun fact, my speech was actually longer than this year's Call of Duty campaign." Former and current developers who worked on Call of Duty, however, were not very happy at being roasted. In fact, multiple developers have spoken out on social media, while some responded with cheap shots about how Call of Duty outsells God of War. An odd comeback really. What makes you wonder why Judge would really be hurt by that? God of War comes out onto one platform, Call of Duty is cross-platform, it's out everywhere, so naturally players are going to buy more of that, you're going to sell more of the Call of Duty games. But a weird comeback. Others were making comments about how they wouldn't have expected this kind of a shot from a peer, from someone from the gaming industry, and on one of the most viewed stages and platforms in the gaming industry every year. To muddy the waters further, Judge's joke isn't wrong. This year's campaign for Modern Warfare 3 has been reported as a disappointment across the board, with heavy criticism being its short length and lack of depth. Players have a right to be disappointed by it, but by the same token, it's no surprise that these developers are upset by this joke. The Game Awards is always lauded as a night that celebrates the industry and the people who make the games we all love. When Judge makes that joke on the most watched stage of the game industry's list of annual events, whether it's intended or not, it hits at the developers who dedicate their lives to making these games the best they can each year. It doesn't hit where it should, at the executives at Activision, who more than anyone are at fault for the awful conditions Sledgehammer Games had to endure to get Modern Warfare 3 out by this November and the resulting conditions of the game's launch. I don't personally think there's anything wrong with the joke. It's a joke. Get over it. You got roasted. I played Modern Warfare 3. Game's good. It's fine. It does lack depth and it has a bloody short campaign, and it does take the piss with the length of campaign. And Judge simply said what everyone was whispering and thinking. He wasn't taking a pop at the developers. He was saying he wasn't saying the game was bad or it lacked anything in terms of gameplay. He stated the bleeding obvious that the game was bloody short. If the developers are upset or angry about someone stating a fact about their game, then they really need to get their heads out of the sandpits and listen to the gamers who all said the same thing about the single player campaign. It's too short. They should have done more with it. It felt like a lazy effort. But anyway, that's by the by. Modern Warfare 3 got roasted and they just can't take it. That's it. Simple. Guys, if you like the video so far or find the video interesting or informative, then do me a favor. Hit that like and subscribe button. That really helps out the video. If you want to support me as a content creator, then consider becoming a channel member. I'll leave a link down below in the description on becoming a channel member. Be sure to check it out. Okay, moving on. Square Enix has released Final Fantasy XVI's first story DLC and revealed a second expansion that's coming to the PS5 game next year. Priced at $9.99 and £7.99 on the PlayStation Store, Echoes of the Fallen adds a new story quest that's available after unlocking Origin as a destination in the world map and completing the quest Where There's a Will and Priceless. As the sun sets over the land of Valisthea, strange dark crystals begin to circulate on the black market. According to an official description, they could be the sinister fruit of a long slumbering mother crystal, one the world never knew existed. Setting out in search of answers, Clive and company encountered a group of suspicious traders. Their trail leads them to a long abandoned fallen tower known as the Sage Spire and the terrible secrets that await within. The DLC lets players wield Buster Sword, which is Cloudstrife's weapon from Final Fantasy VII. The DLC also lets you listen to Away 1987, the orchestrion role as background music in the Hideaway hub area. The second story expansion, The Rising Tide, will be released in spring 2024. Players can purchase the Final Fantasy XVI expansion pass, which includes access to both DLC packs at the discounted price of $24.99 and £19.99. This suggests that Rising Tides, which hasn't been previously priced, will be a more substantial offering than Echoes of the Fallen. Square Enix announced in September that a PC version of Final Fantasy XVI is in development, so great news if you're into Final Fantasy games with 2 new DLCs to play, and it will keep fans hooked into the Final Fantasy world until their new game, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, launches early 2024. Okay guys, that's going to do it for the video. Thank you for watching. If you could do me a favour whilst you're here, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe buttons, and I'll catch you on the next PlayStation news, rumours and leaks video.